Making a woman want you sexually is actually a very easy thing to do. All humans have impulsive primal instincts that activate involuntarily before we even have a chance to consciously think about them. These instincts, they go deeper than money, they go deeper than looks, deeper than conscious choice. For example, the primal instinct for survival is coded into our genetics. When we see high-calorie food, without warning, we salivate and begin to feel hungry, and we feel an impulse to consume it. And that impulse can be difficult to manually override. Now, another primal instinct is the urge to have sex. That instinct exists to ensure humans reproduce, pass on their genes, and continue the human race. So, can a man learn to intentionally trigger a woman's primal sexual instinct? Can he make her feel a strong involuntary sexual pull towards him? And if so, how can he learn to pull that trigger on demand and with precision? First, it's going to help to understand that sexual attraction works differently for men and women. As men, merely noticing a woman across the room can make our heart jump and cause us to feel instantly sexually attracted to her. You don't know her personality, you don't know whether she's funny, intelligent, or kind, or emotionally stable, or just completely insane. None of that matters yet. You see her face, her body, the way she moves, and our impulsive instinctual attraction activates before you consciously decide anything. You already want to approach her. You may already want to sleep with her. You might even be imagining what it would be like to date her, all based almost entirely on what you can see. That is male instinctual attraction. But female attraction activates differently. A woman can look at a man and notice his face and his body and his clothes and the way he carries himself, but she's not merely responding sexually to what she sees, she's instinctively interpreting what it means at a deeper level. For men, appearance in and of itself can be the attraction trigger. We see the way a woman's body looks inside a dress, and our sexual instinct fires. For women, a man's appearance provides clues to his identity underneath. Does he look confident and comfortable in his own skin? Does he appear socially aware and self-assured? Or does he seem insecure, approval-seeking, and desperate to impress? What she really wants to discover is what sort of man he is. Is he emotionally strong? Can he handle pressure? Does he lead his own life? Will being with him make her life feel stronger and more exciting? Or will he become another man she has to reassure, encourage, and emotionally carry? She's not turned on by the image of him itself. She is using everything she sees as evidence of inner identity. But what she is really responding to sexually are his behaviors. She's looking for honest indicators that he is the man she wants him to be. Because a man can consciously construct an image. He can buy the jacket and build the body and learn the right words. He can claim to be confident, but the moment that he begins interacting with her, his behaviors reveal whether that identity is actually real. During that interaction, his behavior is either triggering her instinctive sexual attraction or it isn't. He might be successful, confident, and respected in every other area of his life, but her instincts do not respond to the man he claims to be elsewhere. Her instincts respond to the man that his behaviors reveal in front of her. She does not consciously decide what to feel. She simply begins to experience an instinctive sexual pull, sexual attraction, curiosity, or indifference, even resistance. Even the hottest man in the bar might gain her initial attention. He might get an easier opening and a warmer initial conversation. But the moment his behaviors contradict the identity her instincts inferred from his appearance, that attraction can disappear almost instantly, and he can still end the night alone. So, which behaviors trigger a woman's instinctive sexual attraction, and which ones quietly destroy it? For example, women everywhere of all ages are instinctually attracted to men who are confident and funny, charming, sexual, charismatic, masculine, unpredictable, and socially intelligent. These are traits that reveal themselves during a conversation. Some women may want you based on appearance alone, but most need to experience the man underneath it. While she's talking to you, she's not consciously ticking boxes. She's feeling the dynamic between you. Does your certainty allow her to relax into the interaction? Or does your hesitation force her to carry it? Do you create humor and tension, curiosity and emotional movement? Or does the interaction become flat and predictable? Does she feel your presence and emotional strength? Or does she begin to sense she is more powerful than you? This is how the right behaviors create or kill sexual attraction. Just like salivating over high-calorie food, sexual attraction also creates automatic responses inside the body. When a woman experiences the behaviors that instinctively attract her, chemicals such as dopamine are activated in the brain, creating anticipation, excitement, motivation, and sexual desire. She begins paying closer attention. She wants the interaction to continue. She feels curious about where it might lead. And as attraction develops into connection, chemicals such as oxytocin can deepen her sense of closeness and emotional connection to the man. Her body is already responding before her logical mind has had the time to explain why she actually wants it. And this gives men a much bigger advantage than most men even realize. Because for women to trigger male sexual attraction, it's largely through appearance. And appearance only gives them so many levers to work with: body and skin and hair and eyes and movement, clothing. Genetics are still playing a front and center role. On the other hand, women are significantly sexually triggered through a man's behaviors. And behavior gives you an enormous range of attraction triggers that can be learned and developed and deliberately expressed. And this means much less of your result comes down to genetic luck, and far more comes down to what you can actually control. Most men enter an interaction with a pretty woman thinking, maybe I'll get lucky here. But once you understand the behaviors that trigger attraction, you stop leaving your side of the interaction to luck. You're not going to be able to force every woman to want you, but you can repeatedly and predictably display the behaviors that give her instincts something powerful to respond to. That way you stop wondering, will she hopefully feel something, and start asking, am I creating the emotional and sexual experience that is going to allow attraction to activate? But most men do the opposite. They use what I call the risk transfer approach. They meet a woman that they want sexually, then immediately hide that sexual part of themselves. I sometimes call this being ashamed of your dick. Stop behaving as though your sexuality is something dirty that must remain hidden until a woman gives you permission to possess it. I'm not literally ashamed of the body part, but ashamed of being a sexual man. Ashamed that you get hard and desire women and enjoy sex and want to express that instinct instead of suppressing it. A sexually grounded man carries that energy out in front of him, metaphorically, sometimes plainly. He's not forcing it onto her. He doesn't need to be crude or announce what he wants, but he's not pretending that his dick doesn't exist. The risk transfer man hides it between his legs, and then he's waiting for her to take the risk of reaching for it first. On the surface, what this looks like is friendly and disarming. He becomes extra polite, extra agreeable, extra careful. He tries to create enough comfort and safety, hoping that this will lead her to eventually make it obvious that she wants him. But underneath the friendly conversation, there's a hidden transaction. It says, I won't risk showing you what I want until you risk showing me that I cannot be rejected. So the conversation becomes an interview. What do you do for work? Oh, really? That's interesting. Where did you grow up? He asks questions. She gives answers. He nods, agrees, and carefully avoids doing anything that might create discomfort or expose his deeper sexual intentions secretly tucked between his legs. He thinks he's being respectful, but what he's really doing is transferring all the sexual risk onto her. He wants her to create the sexual opening. He wants her to give him certainty before he shows any masculine sexual intent. And while he waits, he creates safety without tension, comfort without any curiosity, and friendliness without desire. She may enjoy talking to him. She may even genuinely like him. But liking him is not the same as wanting him. By refusing to risk leading the interaction somewhere sexual, he quietly trains her to experience him as safe, neutral, and platonic. And men who get laid and find girlfriends more easily, they're not using the risk transfer approach. They use a sex-forward approach. They intentionally behave in ways that naturally activate her instinctive, involuntary sexual response. As the interaction continues, they make her feel turned on and then begin creating a deeper connection with her. From there, the interaction naturally moves forward. He gets her number, takes her on a date, kisses her, has sex with her, or begins building a relationship with her. That is the easier path to getting laid or finding a girlfriend. First, trigger her primal sexual attraction through intentional behavior, then build the connection, then lead the interaction where you want it to go. This is exactly what I teach inside my free dating school called Magnetic Man Dating. Inside the group, you'll learn exactly how to put this sex-forward approach into practice. The link is down below and you can join Magnetic Man Dating today for free. But understanding that attraction is triggered through behavior exposes another uncomfortable truth. A man can become impressive on almost every visible area of his life and still get almost exactly the same disappointing results with women, because none of those achievements guarantees that she will experience him as a sexually attractive man. Most men never learn this, so they assume sexual attraction is complicated, mysterious, or determined by things outside their control. They're going to spend years building muscles, hoping a better body will finally make women want them. They pour themselves into their career, believing that more money, status, or success will eventually make them sexually desirable. They upgrade their wardrobe, change their hair, buy the watch, upgrade the car, but after all that effort, the problem remains, because they improved everything around the man. They upgraded the evidence around the identity, but not the identity revealed through behavior. Now, that does not mean that you should stop training and stop building your career or stop improving how you look. Certainly, build the body, create the wealth, dress well, develop a powerful life, but those things cannot do the behavioral work for you. A great body may gain her attention. Success may create curiosity. Style may provide attractive evidence of identity, but none of it can rescue an interaction where you become hesitant, sexually neutral, or desperate for her approval. External success just opens the door, but it's the behavioral expression of your inner identity that determines whether her sexual responses switches on or off after you enter a field. For many women, it can take only 1 or 2 minutes of interaction for everything to change. When your behavior triggers attraction, she begins to relax and open up and respond sexually to you. Most men rarely experience that shift. They approach a woman because her appearance has already triggered his sexual attraction, but then give her almost nothing that triggers the same response in return. Instead, he is silently waiting and hoping and thinking, when is she going to show me that she wants me? He waits to get lucky. And while he waits, those crucial first minutes pass without him creating any sexual response in her. He merely hopes his physical presence is going to trigger her sexual attraction the same way that hers triggered his. But his appearance can only create the opportunity. It cannot replace the experience that she has with him. A man who becomes insecure, hesitant, or intimidated will destroy the attraction his appearance initially created. While a grounded, emotional, strong man can activate a powerful sexual response within minutes or even seconds. It may only take 2 minutes to trigger attraction, but most men waste those 2 minutes waiting for her to do it for them. Look, some women are going to have very specific physical preferences, but most women are open to feeling attracted to different types of men if his behavior creates the right emotional and sexual response. A confident, playful, charming man who's maybe less visually appealing, he's going to become far more attractive as the interaction unfolds, while a better looking man who becomes nervous and self-doubting or even sexually neutral, he's going to extinguish that spark completely. You see, looks are going to get her attention, but behavior determines sexual attraction. And creating that spark is not about waiting for the chemistry to magically rain from the sky. It comes from displaying the behaviors women instinctively respond to. Once you understand how to create sexual attraction through behavior, approaching women feels completely different. Some women will feel a little attraction, some will feel a lot, and with some women, the sexual pull is going to be intense. So instead of looking at her across the room, paralyzed, hoping something lucky happens, you become confident walking over knowing how to intentionally create the emotional and sexual response her instincts are capable of feeling. So to answer the question we started with, yes, a man can learn to repeatedly and predictably display the behaviors that activate a woman's instinctive sexual response. You stop hoping to get lucky and start making attraction the predictable result of intentional action. The better you become at expressing the traits women naturally find sexually attractive, the less dating feels like luck, and the more choice you have over the women you meet, date, and ultimately build a relationship with. The link is below. Join Magnetic Man Dating today for free.